Hey, 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 how are you? Happy Saturday. It's Saturday night. It is the final Saturday of the month of January in the year of 2021. My gosh. I can't even believe that. So, Glenn is not with me tonight, as you can see. Who do we have on here? What's going on? So Glenn's not with me tonight. He is tending to his marriage, his wife. What's up, Corey Calvin? Dude, what what is going on with the count, the number of people? I'm showing over 100 people in here right now. That's insane. How's that even possible? My favorite day, cash flow day. That's right. That's right. Scott Ricard is in the house. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. What's happening, Ernie? How you doing? Mary, waiting for your cake to bake. What kind of a cake did you make? That's pretty amazing. Larry Schneider, how in the world are you, bro? I'm showing that we have 127 people watching right now. That's crazy. That is insane. Holy moly. I don't think I've ever seen that number that high. That is crazy. Where is it all coming from? What's up, Joe Ingram? So listen, I want to talk to you about this isn't Clubhouse. What is this? I got to tell you though, man, Clubhouse it's a great app. It's a great application to meet people. But my gosh, it can really be a time suck. I mean, it can really, really, really take a lot of your time. Scott, let's say Scott saying hi. What's going on? RS. I don't know if you go by RS. Joe's here, which means the party just showed up. That's right. Doug Wing. Doug Wing just got moved. Congratulations to you, brother. I'm so happy for you in your new place. I've seen videos on FaceTime with you. I've seen pictures. It's beautiful, man. Congratulations to you. Mary says plant-based double stuffed Oreo layer cake. Wow. That sounds really good. Hey, Jamie, I just hung up with you after an hour and a half talk with Jamie Green. An hour and a half. Wow. So Nancy, how in the world are you? Good to see you. So I want to talk to you guys. Hey, what's up, Weldon? Good to see you, bro. I've been around, dude. I've been really, really, really busy. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember you now, Ernie. I got you, man. So I want to talk about everybody on social media wants to make bigger connections. We want to grow our social media base. We want to reach out, make bigger connections with people, make friendships, make business relationships with people that can help us, that we can help. And I want to talk to you guys about how you can do that. So I'm going to drop a few things here. You may want to write a couple of these things down, and maybe you don't want to write them down. Maybe you've gone as far as you want to go. But I can tell you that I've been blessed with some incredible connections, incredible friendships. Glenn Morshower, although he's spending time with his wife tonight and can't be with me here tonight, Glenn Morshower is my best friend in the world. and he has been since not day one, but since we met, we just really hit it off. And the dude is a superstar, movie star, been a Hollywood actor 45 years. I can call Grant Cardone a friend. I can call, Mark Victor Hansen and his wife Crystal friends. I have so many really good friends that, 90% of the time when I call, they'll take my call. Doug Wing. I mean, my God, Doug Wing's father is the founder of Little Giant Ladder Company. Doug is the previous owner. He owned it. Little Giant, the third largest ladder company in the world. And Doug is one of my dearest friends. What I want to talk about is, how do you go about making bigger connections? I sat in a room for about 4 hours today on Clubhouse, and some absolutely beautiful, beautiful stories, people sharing their heart. And there were people in there who were sharing their heart, but also sharing a lot of their pain. And I've got to tell you that pain in life is 100% inevitable. When I first got sober back in 2002, I went to a lot of 12-step meetings, 12-step meetings. And I remember somebody sitting in there talking. They were in pain. They were feeling all this emotional pain, and they were talking about it. And somebody else says, this other guy says, look, guarantee you that if we all took our pain, we could take it all out, put it in the middle of the room, and leave it there for somebody else to pick up, but we have to pick up their pain and carry it. It wouldn't take 24 hours before you would be back to this spot begging for your pain, your problems, your troubles back, instead of carrying theirs. And that didn't make a lot of sense, but it did make a lot of sense. It was like, what, dude? That doesn't even make sense. Like, I would love to carry a guy with $1 billion. I'll take his pain. But then look, Steve Jobs died. The money couldn't save him. It couldn't save him. So I listen to these stories and I think, man, if you could just get out of the pain of the story, the pain of the story that you're living in, that story that you're retelling yourself over and over and over and over and over. Thank you guys for sharing. Excuse me. That story that you're telling yourself over and over and over, it's causing the pain. Joe says, choosing to allow past pain to affect you now is running rampant in society today. Dude, it is, man. It totally is. People are choosing that. The Buddhists have a saying. The saying goes like this: pain in life is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. We choose to suffer. Whether you believe that or not really doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you believe it. Thank you for sharing, Weldon. I appreciate that. Donovan says it's weird to see. Yeah, I know, man. So we don't have to suffer. We get to choose whether we suffer or not. We get to choose that. We don't have to stay in that pain. No, Beta is not coming on tonight. Have you ever had hold on a sec. Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever doubted yourself. Just drop a 1, the number 1, in the comments if you've ever doubted yourself in any way. Doug, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I love you, dude. He's a good dude right there, man. That guy is a good dude. Jamie dropped a 1. Corey, Scott, we have some 1s dropping. Joe, Ernie, Colleen Copenhaver. How in the world are you? She's amazing, Colleen. Charles he's doubted himself more than once. Jose, Mary, look at all the 1s. I wrote something down. I want to ask you this question now. Drop a 2 if you've ever helped another person. Just drop a number 2 if you've ever helped someone else. The first question was drop a 1 if you've ever doubted yourself. Drop a 2 if you've ever helped another human being. Joe, you're hilarious, man. You have issues, but you're hilarious. Okay. Now let me ask you this, and I really want you to think about this. When you were in the middle of helping someone else, doing something kind to help someone else, did you have any doubts about your life in that moment? In that moment, were you worried about anything else going on in your life while you were busy helping someone else? Seriously. Were you doubting yourself in any way? Were you having fear? Because it's all fear-based. When you were in the middle of helping another human being with their problem, their situation, their whatever, did you have any doubt about your life in that moment? Joe said 3. I told y'all just ignore Joe Ingram. He has issues. Let's pretend he's not here. Okay. So you want to know the secret to blowing up on social media. You want to know the secret to blowing up in life. You want to know the secret to making bigger connections. This is it right here. Help other people. Help somebody else, man. It sounds so simple and trite, but it's true. It's true. Help another human being. Do you know how I have made my connections, my big connections with people like Joe Ingram, with people like Doug Wing, with people like Glenn Morshower, with people like Grant Cardone, with people like Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Hansen? Do you want to know? It's really simple. I helped them without expectation of anything in return. And it just happened. It just happened. Grant Cardone, I have referred Grant. I know of about $2 million in business, people who've invested in his real estate business and everything else. And I love Grant. I've never asked Grant for a single dime, and he knows that. He knows that. I've helped Grant, and I will always help Grant. I love his message. I love what he's doing. I've helped Doug. I've helped Jeffrey Gitomer. I've helped Mark Victor Hansen. I help people. I go out of my way to figure out how to put myself in a position to help even more people on a bigger scale. And that sounds simple. It sounds so simple. Yeah, but Ken, I don't have any money. I've helped people when I couldn't pay my bills, okay? I've helped people when I couldn't make payroll. I've helped people when the electric was fixing to be shut off. Well, maybe for you that works, but listen to me. Listen to me. If you want to really blow up in life, if you really want to make it big in life and do great things, and I'm not talking about just raking in money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that you cannot take to your grave, and that is leaving a legacy. Leaving a legacy. Let me show you something. I go upstairs because, kids pay attention, and I'm upstairs the other day. Went up to talk to my 10-year-old daughter about something. And I look up on the mirror. What about shoveling in money? Dude, I'm all about shoveling in money, dude. So, but here's the thing. I go upstairs and I'm talking to Abigail, and I look up on her bathroom mirror, and she has goals for 2021 written at the top of this piece of paper. Here it is, if you guys can see it. I'm going to read those to you, but there's the goals. Number 1, improve your mental health, emotions, motivation, MODIVA. I love the way she misspells little words. Motivation, ECT, not ETC. She meant etc. Keep your grades at all A's, preferably. She put preferably. Cherish, CHERIS, cherish every moment you have. Number 4, get more closer to God than ever. Number 5, never give up. Number 6, take better care of yourself. Number 7, do more around the house and for your family. Number 8, enjoy life. From a 10-year-old, y'all. That's from a 10-year-old little girl. And she put, love my goals. I took a picture of it. She goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm showing that off. That's pretty unbelievable, Abigail. And she put, heart my goals at the bottom. I said, that is unbelievable. You wrote that? She said, yes. And I go, you wrote that. Get closer. Where does she says, get more closer to God than ever. So, number 8, enjoy life. Her number 8 is enjoy life. If number 8 was spend more time on Zoom with Uncle Joe, she might not. I'm just kidding, dude. No. So I just think, like, how we meaning us adults, we're telling ourselves these stupid stories that somebody else implanted us with. Somebody else planted that crap in your head about what you think you can't do. Somebody else did it. Somebody else did it. Now, you're aware. Once you become aware, it's your fault. Now that you're aware, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You really have to think about this. Frank Crinitti just posted a little bit ago. Frank is my boy. I love that dude. He sells over 100 cars a month, making him the number 2 guy on planet Earth. Planet Earth at selling cars. That's unbelievable. Just a kid from Philly, West Philadelphia, born and raised. But Frank is a guy that he high fives the mirror every morning, says, I love being me. And he gets himself fired up and he goes out and he attacks. There's nothing in his mind that says he can't accomplish this thing, whatever it is. I don't know any besides him, any car salespeople making $1 million a year selling cars. I'm sure there's more. I know Ali Rita. But my gosh, think about that. Just think about him. Think about the people that are out here expanding. You keep seeing them expand. I've watched Grant Cardone since I started following him in 2014. His studio, it was this little table with a single television screen behind him or something. It wasn't that much. You can go on YouTube and look at the videos he did back then. And now look at him. And back then he didn't have a private jet. Now, since then, he's had 2 different private jets. And he just got a helicopter. So like it's possible to expand in life. And I'm not talking about focusing everything on money. I'm not talking about that. But I can promise you this. You can help a lot more people if you have money. Justin Benton, for example, let me give Justin a shout out real quick. Because if y'all haven't tried his CBD, right there it is. Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. And that guy, if you hit him up, he will send you a free sample. He sent out, how many did you say the other day, Justin? 10,000 samples in the first quarter or the last quarter or something. I forget how many samples. It was tremendous. Maybe not 10,000. I don't remember, but a lot of samples. Now, he couldn't do that without money. He would not be able to do that. And his goal is to heal the world with the miracle plant and the process that he uses to create the CBD. It is the best ever. It is incredible. 101cbd.org, or is it CBD? I always get it backwards. 101cbd.org, I believe, because they are a .org. They help so many people. He created this CBD. $10 million donated. $10 million donated in 2021? What? Holy crap, dude. Tammy, what's up, Tammy? Listen, you've got to figure out how to make more money. You got to figure out how to bring in more. You got to figure out if again, let me go back to the two questions. The first question I asked was, drop a 1 if you've ever doubted yourself. And we got a bunch of 1s. Got a lot of honest people on here. Anybody that didn't drop a 1, either you just didn't want to drop a 1 or you're lying to yourself, because we've all doubted ourselves. And then I said, have you ever helped another human being? Drop a 2. And a bunch of people dropped 2s. They helped. Yes, I've helped another human being. Of course. And then my third question was this. In the moment that you were helping another human being, in that exact moment, were you doubting yourself? Did you have any doubts about anything you were doing? Anything? Were you even thinking about what's going to happen? No, you were busy helping another human being. Whether it's through a phone conversation, it's through donating to their charitable cause, it was through helping them buy some groceries, weeding their flower bed. I don't know, whatever it is, right? But you were helping another human being. And the way to get out of the pain that you're living in is to start helping other people. Well, I already do that. Do it more. Do it more. Replace all that turmoil you've got going on inside. I'm a very, very, very busy guy. My calendar is always full. But when in those rare moments, very rare moments where I have some downtime, I'm not a fan of downtime. But when I have that downtime, man, my mind can start racing. It can start going crazy. It can start running on me. It can start running like crazy. And in that downtime, if my mind starts getting too wacky and I start feeling any doubt or fear, one of the very first things I do is I pick up the phone and I'll call somebody, or I'll text somebody. I'll reach out to somebody and go, dude, how's everything going with you? How's everything going? Charles, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? Joe Ingram, how you doing, bro? What's going on, man? I was just thinking about you. Tammy Thrasher, how in the world is it going? I was just thinking about you. I wanted to reach out and see if there's anything I could do to help you. You cannot go wrong helping another human being. You can't. Unless they're asking you to drain your bank account and give all of your money to them and you go hungry. Well, that would just be stupid. Don't do that. If you help somebody else, you can get out of you can get out of that. I call it the squirrel brain, where your brain starts running like hamsters on a wheel, and you start, making up stuff in your brain. I remember, when I first got sober, I would call my sponsor and I'd say, dude, you're not going to believe what happened. And then she said this and and I was like all messed up and I don't even know if I want to be sober anymore. And he'd go, dude, listen, man, you need to chill out. He'd say, you need to chill out. And I go, okay. And he'd go, dude, listen, man, alcoholics, and I think this is true for anybody, don't know the difference between a broken shoelace and a death in the family. You're over exaggerating things. Calm down. And I'll tell you that the more I focus on just being aware, self-awareness, being aware of those crazy thoughts. Yes, that is a great, great movie. Insert. Let's not insert any more one. Joe was already here inserting one-liners. Joe's such a good guy. He is such a good dude. But whenever you get into that place where it's like you feel like you're messed up over something and you don't know how to handle it, or you're telling that's one of the biggest things that I see in not and I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's absolutely perfect to go into Clubhouse and talk and bare your soul and share. I've heard some absolutely amazing stories, people sharing their pain and bearing their soul. But there is a point where you have to say, like, you got to move on from the pain at some point. You have to move on from it. If the pain continues for very long, it's referred to as suffering. And like I said, the Buddhists have a saying that pain is inevitable in life and suffering is a choice. So at some point, you have to deal with the pain. And I can guarantee you that most mental pain, it's about forgiveness. Somebody has hurt you in the past. We've all been there. Somebody has hurt you and you haven't forgiven them. And I can remember being told, you need to forgive this person. I'm like, forgive them? Yes. Pray for them. You want me to pray for them? Yeah, dude, you got to pray for them or you're going to get drunk again and that'll kill you. You want me to pray for them and they did that crap to me? Are you high? What? Are you smoking crack right now? What are you talking about? You want me to pray for the person that hurt me? Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Yes. I'm like, you know what? I'll pray for him to burst into flames simultaneously, like all of a sudden. And he said, well, that's a start, but that's not really what we're looking for. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'm Justin. He says it. Carrying resentment is like you drinking poison and expecting me to die. So I started praying for this person. And I did it over and over and over and over. And I did not mean it, by the way. I said, and God bless, blah, blah, blah. Amen. And I did it over and over and over. And it was about 30 days into that little part of my journey that I was praying, and I remember saying, God bless so and so. And all of a sudden, I can't explain it, don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden, I knew that I finally meant it. I'm like, I mean this. I feel it. And then I felt this unbelievable weight just lift off of my shoulders. I felt free from this. That anger, that resentment, that pain that we carry around. And this is not, please don't think this is a judgment, because I promise you it's not a judgment. I'm not judging anyone. I have been there, man. I mean, I have been there. I've carried that pain and told that story over and over and over and over and over to anybody with ears. What's up, Chatterbox? The real Chatterbox. Hey, Matt Myers, good to see you, man. Forgiveness does equal freedom. Look, when you have this story that you're telling yourself about the pain, you're telling yourself this story, you're reliving it over and over and over. You're just creating more pain. You're just creating more pain. Forgiving is hard to do, especially when you've been wronged or hurt, but it's so powerful and freeing. Here's what I think. I think that there, and I'm not trying to get all religious on anybody in any way. But I will tell you this, that once you, and I got to answer this before, I'll answer that in just a second, real Chatterbox. I don't think that it's humanly possible for our soul by ourselves to forgive somebody that really hurt us. I truly believe that requires the power of a higher being, whatever you want to call God. I call God God, but some people are offended by that, and that's okay. But I truly believe that it requires the power of God, that we can't do it. And if you aren't ready to forgive, my question for anybody that says, I'm not ready to forgive, my question is this: how long do you want things to continue to not work out for you? Sure, some things will work out for you, but I'm talking about, how long do you want to be chained to that story, to that pain? How long do you want to be chained to it? You're talking about when you don't want to forgive somebody for something. And I get it. Trust me, dude, or dudette, whoever you are. I don't know your real name, but I get it. Okay. I totally get it. I've lived in it. I almost drank myself to death many, many, many times over it. I hurt so many other people and myself as a result of not wanting to give up the ghost, not wanting to give up the pain. I wanted to be because I don't forgive. You're chained to the pain. You're the story. I was. I'm not saying you are. I was. I didn't want that anymore. It was dragging me down. It was like being chained to heavy weights. Every single time I thought about it or something would come up, it would just relive it all over and over and over and over. And then I would talk about it and I would get all messed up about it. And I'm saying that when you forgive, when you ask for God to help you forgive, life becomes better. And absolutely, it's even harder when it's a family member. And most of us have more than one person we need to forgive. Not everybody, but most of us do. We've all been wronged. And guess what? We all feel like our story is the most unique story in the world. And the simple truth is this: it's not. It's not. There's somebody that's had that happen or worse. There's somebody that's been through what you've been through or worse, and they moved on, became incredibly successful, and they're giving back to society and helping the world on massive, massive scales. There's somebody who was born without their limbs. Nick, what's his name? Nick Volovich. Is that his name? Nick Volovich. The guy that was born with no arms and no legs. He's a motivational speaker. He's incredible. He could be moping in sadness, feeling sorry for himself. But prolonged pain becomes suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. You get to make a different choice if you want. Mine started on the night that I decided that I would start praying for people who hurt me. And it wasn't easy. And guess what? I didn't mean it. Why? Because of what the real chatterbox said. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to forgive. I did not want to forgive. I didn't want to let that go. Why? Well, that had been my story my entire life. That pain, that suffering for all those years, that's what fueled my ability to go out and almost drink myself to death. That's what fueled my anger. That's what fueled my excuses for everything. Everything. But there comes a point where in my book, I wrote this story about these two monks that were walking up this mountain road, and they come across this big puddle, and one side's straight mountain cliff and the other side's a cliff that they would fall off. And there's this woman standing there that can't get across this big puddle in the road without her dress getting down in it and getting all messy, and she's just standing there and can't get around it. The only way to get past this is to go through the puddle. Well, it was strictly forbidden for monks to touch women. So these two monks are walking along, and one of them doesn't even think about it. He picks the lady up, carries her in his arms across the puddle, and sets her down on the other side, and she carries on. And he looks back at his buddy and says, the guy comes, and he's visibly, the other guy that didn't touch the woman is visibly upset. And they walk along for a while. The woman gets way out in front of him. And he finally snaps and he says, I cannot believe that you touched that woman. You know, we're strictly forbidden. We're not allowed to touch women. And yet you picked her up and you touched her, you carried her, you put, like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? And the monk that picked the lady up looked at his friend and said, I put that lady down back at the puddle, and you're still carrying her. And he walked on. What story? I mean, the other dude was pissed. He was angry. How could you do that? You picked up that woman. Yeah, but I put her down back there, and here we've walked a couple of miles and you're still carrying her. How many stories are you carrying right now to justify staying small, to justify staying stuck, to justify staying playing the victim? And I'm not judging anybody. I've been there. I set up my entire life so I could be a victim many, many, many times unconsciously. But once you become aware of it, it's no longer anyone's fault but your own. So when you take responsibility for it and you stop blaming other people, stop. And guess what? I love what the real chatterbox. You guys that are on Facebook can't see this, but that's funny. I would have said, "Hey, monk, mind your business." That's funny. Put the lady down and move on with your life. Let go of it. The people that the story that I've seen, I think it was Ernie. Let's see. I need to do that big time. My ex general manager is still in my head. He was sabotaging me big time before he got fired. Ernie, guess what? He probably doesn't even think about you, yet you're allowing him to rent free space in your head. And I guarantee you that it sets you back in your life when you're carrying that stuff around. It sets you back. It prevents you from being free. No, if you comment here, they don't see it unless I put it up on the screen. And be careful because I won't put up some comments. So to be free from that, and this is going to be hard. This is going to be very difficult. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. Which you are already, whether you think you are or you're not. Once you die, you're going to find out. So, but think about this. And you are going to die, by the way. There's not one human being who's ever gotten out of here alive. So you might as well figure this out while you're here. Send them prayers, positive energy, and blessings. Pray for your enemy to be blessed with the things that you want in life, to be blessed with the success. That does not mean call them up and say, "Hey, I want to go into business with you," or "Hey, you want to go play golf?" Or that's not what I'm talking about. This, in the end, it's between you and a higher power. In the end, it's between them and a higher power. And it never really was between you and them. So let it go. And remember, hey, Linda Ann Barber, how are you? It's good to see you. Do not give people the satisfaction. Pain and anger and resentment will cause disease in its carrier. If you're carrying that pain, that anger, that resentment towards another human being, you're literally changing the physical structure of your own cells, your own cellular makeup. Bruce, all you missed in the beginning was this. Lynn, I love you too. All you missed in the beginning was this, Bruce. I said, number one, drop a 1 if you've ever doubted yourself. And if this is the first time you're hearing this, you can participate. If you did it before, you can participate again, but I'm going to say it again. Drop a 1 if you've ever doubted yourself. I'm going to get a drink of water while I wait. Thank you, Frank Nell. There's some ones. The second part of it is drop a 2 if you've ever helped another human being. Drop a 2 if you've ever helped someone else. If you've ever helped someone in any way, drop a 2. I'll get another drink while I wait. And there's a bunch of 2s. We had a bunch of 1s, and now we have a bunch of 2s. The third question that I have for you is, when you were in the middle of helping another human being, were you overwhelmed with all of those doubts that you were talking about? When you were helping someone else, did you have any doubts going on? When you were really in the moment helping that other person, maybe it was on a phone call, maybe it was sitting down listening to their pain. Were you in fear? Were you in doubt? And the answer is, of course not. These are rhetorical questions. The more that you work on helping other people, and I've helped people, you know, when I first started following Grant Cardone, I'm fairly certain there was nobody on this planet that worked harder than I did to promote him. I'm convinced of it. Every single post he made on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, I was sharing everything I could possibly share. I was just totally, and I still am. I love the dude. I love his message. I love what he does to help people. So I would share everything I could. And then I started to say, oh my gosh, look, there's other people out here that are big names, Bob Berg and Mark Victor Hansen and Jeffrey Gitomer and all of these amazing people I started like seeing and attracting into my life. And oh my gosh, I can help them. Corey Calvin, I can help them. How can I help them? I don't know. Let me reach out to them. Let me watch. Let me look at their social media. Let me see what they've got going on. Is there a way that I can help them? Corey Calvin owns over 5,000 apartments. I can't help him financially. I can't help him. Are you? Or he says, are you a motivational? I got to put this up. Or am I in my own world? That is so funny. So if you want more out of life, this is the trickiest part, man. Like I'm telling you, this is the hardest part to wrap your brain around. If you want more out of life, you've got to give more of what you want out of life. And that sounds insane. What? Yes, you've got to give more of what you want. You want more love? You got to give more love. You want more money? You got to give more money. You want more freedom? You got to help other people get more freedom. Whatever it is you want, you've got to give more of that or something related to that. You have to. That's the crazy part. Every single wealthy person that I know, every single one of them, give more than they take. They give more than they take. Every single one. You want more out of life, you've got to give more to life. And it's really not tough to do. I think people overcomplicate the crap out of it. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's simple. Well, what if I'm broke? How do I give money if I'm broke? You don't. That would be just stupid. You don't. But there are ways you can give back. Have you ever been to a homeless shelter and fed the homeless? Have you ever gone at Thanksgiving and bought a bunch of meals and go to a local church it doesn't even have to be Thanksgiving. It could be any time, and go to a local church and say, "Hey, how do I I'm picking up these hot meals prepared. I want to deliver them to families in need." How do you do that? I go to your church, go to a local church and find out, because I can promise you they know how. Promise you. When my wife and I moved back here from Las Vegas, that was one of the first things we did, is reached out to a local church because we wanted to give meals away at Thanksgiving and at Christmas. And I'm not saying that to brag in any way. Not in any way. Thank you, Glenn Caldwell. You're right. Be a fountain, not a drain. If you want more, and again, maybe you can't afford to go buy a meal for other families. Just because, see, I'll tell you, just because you are wealthy, dude, the more money that you have, the more you can help others. Period. It's that simple. The more money you have, the more you're able to help other people. It's literally that simple. If you don't have enough money to get by for yourself, how are you supposed to give to others? Well, I'm wise. Who wants to take advice from somebody that's broke? Well, I'm not broke. I understand, but like, you got to learn how to take care of yourself. And Grant talks about this. I hear all kinds of people talking about this. You've got to learn to take care of yourself better. And that starts with number one, stop carrying around your pain. Stop living in your pain. Stop. Seriously. Stop living in the pain. Forgive. Forgive others. Forgive the people that have hurt you. You have to forgive them, man. And that's tough. It's so tough to do. It's actually not. It's not. You know what? The hardest part is making the decision to say prayers for them. Right there. Doug Wing has so many amazing stories, not only about him helping others, but his dad helping others. And there's this one story, Doug, I'm going to tell this story about his dad, Hal. His father's name was Hal Wing, the founder of the Little Giant Ladder Company. Doug told a story once about his dad going into a hospital, and it was absolutely amazing. His dad heard about somebody having had an accident. Thank you, the Real Chatterbox over on Periscope. I appreciate you. And the guy lost, I think, Doug, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the guy lost one of his legs in an accident working for another company or something like that. And Hal Wing went in there. And when I heard this story, it was like, oh my gosh. He did not know this guy. He did not know this guy. He went in the hospital room, snuck past the people, acted like he was family with the guy or whatever, and literally washed the blood off this guy's face that had gotten on his hands and his face. Hal Wing. And he gave the guy a job for the rest of his life. He didn't start the Little Giant Ladder Company a wealthy man. He gave and 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 he gave more. That money gave him the ability to help more people. And Doug and his brother and all the employees there built that company with Hal into the third largest ladder company in the world, with one of their core values one of their core basic values, basic principles of life being helping other people. And we all have that same exact opportunity. We do. There are people all over this world who are hurting, that are in pain, that are living in fear. And we all have the ability to reach out to somebody and touch their life in a positive way. That's the centerpiece story. That's funny. It's a great story. And wait till Doug's book comes out. Oh my gosh, there are so many stories. I can't wait for that book. But we all have the ability, and Doug says it right here. You can always give of your time if you don't have many resources. All of us can serve and help other people. All of us. 100% of us. You may not have a bunch of money. You may have the dream of having a bunch of money. But it starts with, I got another story. Can I have one more story about a personal experience of mine. Drop a 1 if you want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, okay. But I do have one other story that is a mind-blowing spiritual story. It's mind-blowing. Drop a 1 if you want to hear it. I'm not gonna do it unless I get at least a couple. Got some 1s. Okay. All right. So this was, excuse me, about 30 years ago. I'm sitting in church in Marietta, Georgia. I lived down there. And Andrea said, hurry up, I got to get back to sleep. Well, go back to sleep. So I'm in church in Marietta, Georgia. And between my ex-wife and I, we had $20, period, left our name, and it was cash. Our bank account balance was at like 11 cents. We had $20 cash. We were literally down to our last nickel. And I smoked cigarettes back then. So did she. And back then they were way cheaper than they are now, I'm sure. But, with inflation, they were still probably about the same. And I knew we had a $20 bill, and she had it in her purse. As the collection plate came around, I said, I nudged her. I said, give me that. Hey, I didn't have a microphone, but I said, hey, give me that $20. She said, for what? I said, I'm giving it to the church. She said, no, you're not. I said, give me the $20. She said, no. I said, give me the $20. I want to give it to the church. No, we can't do that. That's our last $20. I said, we'll figure it out. God will take care of us. Something will happen. I promise you. Give me the $20. She ended up giving me the $20, and she was not very happy about it. Come to think of it, I didn't do many things she was very happy about back then. Remember, I was a practicing alcoholic. I put the $20 in the little thing that came around, and freaked out, by the way. Freaked out. I was scared, but I did it, and I knew this is it. I mean, I thought, well, I'll sell something. I got something. I'll figure it out. But went up to the after service, went up and was talking to the pastor and his wife, and and their son and his wife, and they were about our age, and we were just hanging out and chatting. I felt this tap on my shoulder. I turn around and there's this guy, and he goes, "Hey, what? I'm so and so, and I'm not going to mention his name, but I'm so and so." And he reached out his hand. I shook his hand. I told him he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I came down here. I was working for a company in sales, and just left there, and I'm actually, thinking about doing something else, looking for something to do." And he goes, "Well, what's your experience?" And I said, "Well, I worked at the Honda factory in Marysville, Ohio, building cars. I worked in the paint department and final repair and all of that. I built cars and inspected them and made sure that they shipped and all that." And he's like, "Really? Do you know anything about that wax stuff they put over the coating?" I said, "Yeah, that's a mezzanine wax that they put on there to protect the paint in the car during shipping." And he goes, "Do you know how to get it off there?" And I said, "Well, of course." I used to put it on and take it off. "Yeah, I know how to." He's like, "Dude, I just bought a new Honda Accord and it's covered in that stuff and I can't figure out how to get it off." And I go, "Oh, I know how." He goes, "What, do you buff it?" I go, "Well, no, you don't buff it. I mean, if it needs buffed, I can buff it too." He goes, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah, I ran a high-speed buffer." And I saw, he's like, "Oh my gosh, what would you charge to do that?" And I go, "Dude, I have no idea what I'd charge." I mean, he goes, "I'll tell you what, you and your wife come over tonight for dinner at my house. I'll let you," and he's driving a Porsche, by the way, this guy. He goes, "I'll let you take the Accord. You just take it home, you clean it up, and I'll give you $500. I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he flips out $300 bills and hands them to me. He goes, "There's the down payment. I'll have the rest for you tonight when you come over for dinner." I was like, what just happened? So look, on the way home, I was like looking over at her going, "Hey, any questions about how this works?" So like I was willing to trust in a power greater than myself. I was willing to trust God, and I gave up my very last dollar. Now, I had stuff in my home I could sell or whatever if I absolutely had to. And I was rewarded for that faith. And that ended up turning into a business for me at a very young age. I was 22, I think. So you've got to realize that the more that you're hanging on to pain, the more fearful you're going to live, and the less freedom and financial blessings, the less of everything good you will have in your life. Help other people. Help other people. And I do want you guys to make sure that you've gone and downloaded my free ebook, 100livestreamsecrets.com. 100livestreamsecrets.com. There's so many people though that don't believe that, Bruce. And that's the minimum. That's just the tithe. When I'm in a restaurant and I get exceptional service, I had a $24 bill the other night I had to pay when I picked up dinner. I gave the girl, I went and picked it up. It was at a restaurant. She brought it out to the car. I handed her, she ran my card. She took it in, ran my card, brought it back out, curbside pickup. 100livestreamsecrets.com, Charles Coachman. 100livestreamsecrets.com. I handed her a $20 bill when she came out. She looked at me. I go, "That's for you. You can take it." And she takes it and she goes, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah, thank you for your hard work. I appreciate you." She said, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And she turned around and she walked in with a different, a little more pep in her step. Man, like $20. Oh, but Ken, I couldn't do that. If you can't do that, do what you can, but you've got to freaking get out of yourself. You got to help other people. Help other people. Your problems will disappear. They will completely disappear when you start helping more people. So go download my free ebook, 100livestreamsecrets.com. If you're not part of the Grow Live Academy, I'm changing up some things. Starting on Monday. The Grow Live Academy, I haven't decided on the exact monthly access because it includes a lot of crazy, unbelievable training videos. And it also includes a weekly one-on-one or a group coaching call on Zoom, private Zoom meeting coaching call with me. And I have my friends come in there. I believe we have Kyle Wilson coming in this week. He was Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years. He's going to come in and talk to everybody and do a Q&A with everybody. And I'm telling you that the Grow Live Academy is powerful. It's like all of the people you see commenting, Jamie Green, Charles Coachman, Colleen, Justin, they're all members of the Grow Live Academy. Bruce is in there. Bruce, you're in there. Yeah, you're in there. Andrea Levis, there. I can never say her name. Leviscante is in there. Like so many people are in this group. They'll attest that the coaching calls we have are very, very, very powerful. Glenn Morshower has been in there. Craig Duswalt, just from Guns N' Roses, like some absolutely amazing people have come in and spoken to the group. Those are all recorded. And if you get into the Grow Live Academy, you can right now, I think I'm going to $197 a month. I have not decided. I had a long conversation with Jamie Green, who is in the group. She said, Ken, you're way undercharging at $997. You really need to raise your prices. Donovan is in there. Donovan is in there. So I think I'm going to $197 a month. Right now it's $997. If you get in on right now, it's $997 for lifetime access, by the way. And that includes all the coaching calls. It seriously is underpriced. Seriously underpriced. $997 one time. You get lifetime access until Monday, and then anybody that's already in is grandfathered for life. You already got it for life. You're good. But as of Monday, whatever I end up making it, I think it's going to be $197 a month. But starting Monday, I'm going to a monthly fee. Or an annual fee. I'm going to do either one, but I promise you it will not be $997 for life. No way, no how. So growliveacademy.com. I hope that you get over there and you join us. I appreciate y'all. I just wanted you to, I really was thinking about this today about, finally, I'm a grandfather. You're grandfathered in, dude. So, I was thinking about this today because it breaks my heart. Yes, Doug Wing is a lifer. That's right. Doug Wing is in there too. You need another step on your value ladder. Membership or the live calls are monthly. We'll talk about that, brother. But I hear people telling their stories, and I listen to this and I hear the pain, and I can feel it. I can feel it. And I can't see them on Clubhouse, but I can hear them, and they get really upset. They're crying, they're emotional, and you can just tell. I mean, when somebody's living an angry life or a happy life. Corey, you are a lifer, dude. You already know that. when you meet somebody and you can tell that they're just not free. There's no light in their eyes. They're angry. You can see it. You can feel it in their energy. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It upsets me. It bothers me that because I know what it is. It's they're reliving some stupid story, something that they haven't forgiven somebody for. They need to forgive them for, and they haven't forgiven them. And it just rips my heart out thinking, man, you could have so much more in this world, so much more going on in your life if you could just forgive. Forgiveness, I believe, starts with prayer, and then it takes action. The more that you're forgiving other people, and the more you're helping other people, the more, I'm telling you, man, the blessings just pour in. You're looking at somebody who's been there and done it. I've been there, I've been through it, and I've done it. God bless every single one of you. I love you all. And I really hope that tonight I was able to get through to just one person. If it's more than that, wonderful. But at least one person, I hope this message resonated with you. I hope it touched you in your heart. I hope you shared this out. And I hope that it really impacts the lives of everyone you come in contact with. God bless you all. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful night. Should I play the Ken and Glenn video just for the heck of it? Should I on the exit just play the Ken and Glenn? I shouldn't I? I'm gonna do hold it. Drop a 1 if I should. Drop a 1. Just come on, one more 1. Give me one more 1 if you want to see the Ken and Glenn intro outro video. I'll play it right now. Okay. Oh, there's the big dreamer. All right, I'm gonna play it. I love you guys. Love all of you. Have a blessed and wonderful evening. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Don't forget to join us on the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's me, Glenn Morshower, Scott McCain, the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott right here where you watched me tonight. You can find us tomorrow and go follow our Facebook page, the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night. Love you all. Bye-bye.